Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Moreno and this is my case brief assignment using the IRAC method. My case concerns a dispute between a buyer and a seller who are both merchants. In November of 1967, the buyer approached the seller looking to purchase a large quantity of hay for his ranch. The two parties agreed upon a purchase price but are in dispute as to the quantity, which the seller claims was 1,500 tons. Shortly after this agreement was made, the buyer deposited money into an escrow account and began to haul hay away from the seller's property. About 2 months later, the money in the account had run out, and the seller contacted the buyer, stating that more money needed to be deposited for the additional hay to be hauled. After this, the buyer responded by depositing more money and continuing to haul hay. When the money ran out again, the buyer refused to deposit more money and stopped hauling hay. The plaintiff seller sued for the initial agreement, which he stated was 1,500 tons to be upheld, and the district judge ruled in his favor. The buyer appealed this decision. The issue in this case is whether or not payment and receipt of goods validate an oral contract by acting as written memorandum. The issues in this case are governed by the UCC, or Uniform Commercial Code, because both the buyer and the seller are merchants. The UCC states that written memorandum must be confirmed within a reasonable time. This doesn't make the case quite clear, so the courts looked to a similar ruling between a buyer and a seller, which concluded that all that's required is for the writing to afford a basis for belief of an oral contract. This means that any writing which provides evidence of an oral contract or validates a previous oral contract is enough to satisfy the statute of frauds. Here, both parties acted upon their oral agreement soon after the agreement was made by depositing money into the escrow account. This satisfies the UCC requirement for reasonable time. In addition, the communication between the seller and the buyer regarding the depleting balance in the escrow account satisfies written memorandum to support the oral contract. The buyer did not reject this writing and responded positively by depositing additional funds, showing his agreement. In conclusion, an oral contract can remain valid if the parties acted upon this agreement with a reasonable time, i.e. deposit into the escrow account and the transport of hay, and if there is writing to act as evidence of this oral contract. This case was affirmed and remanded. Well, please let me know if you have any questions or comments on Canvas, and thank you very much.